Talk of coming carbon taxes aren't the only worries facing Canada's coal industry. It's been under pressure ever since provinces including Ontario and Alberta said they are phasing out coal-fired power production. Canada's coal industry was worth more than $5 billion in 2011 and employs about 42,000 people, or 14% of the total mining jobs in this country. When Alberta recently announced it would be phasing out coal-fired power plants by 2030, the Coal Association said the move would result in massive layoffs, damaged communities, and result in higher energy prices for all. The industry says investment in new technologies could do a better job of lowering emissions without harming the province's economy. Robin Campbell is the president of the Coal Association of Canada and former Minister of Finance for Alberta. So, Robin Campbell, it's the week of the environment, of course, everyone in Paris, and so many people describing coal as really being the dirtiest form of energy, wanting to get rid of it entirely. How do you react to that kind of talk?
Well, I think that it's short-sighted. I think that right now coal's an easy target. But I think that when people look around the world and they look at the emerging economies in China and looking in India, they're going to continue to burn coal. Europe is going to continue to burn coal. And I think that when we look in Alberta, we have over 33 billion tons of coal in the ground right now, based on 2012 surveys. And, you know, as an exporter of natural resources, it's important for us to have good, stable energy, i.e. electricity. And coal provides that for this province, and with new technologies can continue to do so.
Right. I mean, obviously it's very important to the economy, but there's lots of people who would say, you know, at what cost? You know, what are we doing to the planet, etc. Now, we mentioned in our introduction, you were suggesting a better way to reduce emissions would be to be investing in technology. How far can that go? What progress have we seen so far in trying to clean up the emissions from coal?
Well, you know, I mean, it's expensive right now, but since I've taken over as president, you know, I've had a number of discussions with a number of research firms and small groups that are doing, starting up businesses in looking at cleaning up coal that can take CO2 emissions out of the coal and either store it or use it for other methods. There's people that are working on technologies to take the methane out of the coal while it's still in the ground to burn that for power. So there's lots going on around the world. I was just on the phone with a gentleman from England yesterday that's doing work in Italy and is going to be over in the States doing work with the Coal Association in the United States. So I think, you know, that we have to look at what's out there. You know, I think that in Alberta we have a tech fund which large emitters pay into. And I think it would be prudent upon the government to take monies from that fund and reinvest it into research to see what we can do to make sure that we continue to burn coal, and we can do so, it give us an economic advantage as we try to sell our products worldwide.
What about the investment community? Are people, investors and big funds, not interested in investing in some of these technologies that could make coal cleaner?
Well, I think that it's going to come to that. I think that, you know, right now, you know, I say with the talks going on around the world of coal being bad, that, you know, some people might be a little squeamish about doing that. But again, as you look at developing countries wanting to build their economies, you know, coal's all over the place. And, you know, all indications are over the next 20 years, the demand of coal is going to increase. I just read an article yesterday that said India is going to burn 1.5 billion tons of coal in the next 10 years. And so, you know, these technologies will become important as we move forward. And in Alberta, say, we have the tech fund, we have very bright minds in this province. And I think it would be incumbent upon the government to look at ways of making sure that our energy costs stay low, not only for the industries, but also for our residents, our seniors, people on fixed incomes that depend on power to run their households. You know, to shut down coal, which is about 40% of Alberta's power generation right now, would bring large increases in our price of electricity. And to say that we're going to replace it with 30% of renewable resources, I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure anyone who's proposing this is seeing it as a very gradual transition. It's not as if things are shutting down overnight. But I mean, you mentioned India, absolutely. We were talking not too long ago about that country's planning to double its own production of coal. But then on the other hand, you've got countries, you know, in the UK, for example, they have said by 2030 they want to have absolutely zero coal-fired power generation. So, I mean, it does seem that this is the way the world is going to have to go eventually, but over what timeline, I suppose, is the question.
Well, you know, Dan, you know, I've heard that, I've read those comments. I suggest that, you know, they'll be very hard pressed to do that. I was in Holland last year. You know, you talk about wind power and turbines and all the good work they do, but they still burn coal in Holland. I went by the coal-fired plants myself and asked the people I was with, and they said, yes, we're still burning coal.
But don't you have any concern, though, about the environmental harm that it's doing?
Well, I think that, again, you know, we have to find that balance. We have to work what we can to reduce emissions as much as we can. But I think that also we have to realize that, you know, when you look at the sources that are available to us for energy, we have to be practical about that. And, you know, coal is something that's not going to go away.
Not too fast anyways. All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us.